From October 28th to the 30th, a superstorm known as Sandy pummeled the East Coast with heavy rain and destructive winds. Some places, such as Philadelphia, dodged a bullet, only experiencing some minor flooding and brief power outages. Other areas were not so lucky. The brunt of Sandy's force was focused upon New Jersey, particularly the towns along the shore. Storm surges along the coast reached over 10 feet at some points, causing massive destruction and devastation. Countless residents were displaced, their homes destroyed, and their lives changed. In 72 hours, the Jersey Shore changed forever. In Atlantic City, a majority of the destruction happened on the south end, where an entire portion of the boardwalk was washed away. Other areas of the city, particularly the casino areas, were left somewhat untouched by the storm. The most damage that the tourist section of the city suffered was to the well-known jetties that ran up and down the beaches. Construction crews were stationed all along the shore, moving large boulders back into place. On the boardwalk, tourists milled around, shopping and enjoying the mild weather as if the storm had never even happened.
Based upon the news reports when we got here, and what we found was 100 times better than we thought. We felt like we won the lottery. Seeing all the devastation, we got lucky. I mean, we were inconvenienced, but the water was 6 inches from the first floor, so other than outside damage, we really didn't suffer anything significantly.
You look around and look on the boardwalk and all, there's very little, you don't even see a rain spout hanging down or nothing. There was very little structure down. I think we're all pinning it down that the hurricane actually came over Ocean City. So we figured that's what cut down on the damage. But really, if you ride around the island, you don't see things blown apart or blown down. Yeah, there's a lot of water damage. We had a lot of water damage. We didn't have it here. But down there, closer to the bay, they had quite a bit of water damage.
And we just came down today. My husband came with me to see what kind of damage was done. I came down on Friday and the back of my house had water in it, but the front of my house didn't get any water, which I am relieved, and it's a blessing that I didn't have to tear anything out. When I did come down on Friday, the streets were a mess. They were full of mud and debris and certain sand, and they were just a mess. And 2 days later, it's clean. So the city has really done a good job as far as getting the town cleaned up and ready, I guess, for the people to come back to Ocean City.
After the storm, it seems like there's absolutely no beach left. I have to refill all the dunes with sand. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be in Ocean City. A lot of the structure's still intact.
Only a week and a half after Sandy, the Jersey Shore was hit with another storm. A nor'easter known as Athena blew into the region on November 7th, causing more damage to the already devastated towns. Heavy winds, high storm surges, and a mixture of snow and rain plagued the region. Brigantine was one of the more affected areas by both storms. The beach was practically gone in some areas, while many houses along the shoreline had red slips tacked onto them, indicating that they had been condemned. Even the more inland areas experienced significant damage. House after house had piles of furniture, trash, and other ruined belongings out on the street. Piles of sand, reminiscent of snow after a blizzard, were everywhere. Entire sidewalks were covered. In some areas, it looked as if the beach had extended inland, surrounding houses. Residents will have to work for months to clean up Sandy's mess and restore the shore.
That's the water level right there?
So that's the water level.
Jeez.
Yeah. I guess they really didn't comprehend when they were talking about this surge from the wind, how that was going to push the water in from the bay,
right,
that it would actually happen through sewage. So when they were asking if we had any backup, I said no, but we were dealing with all the contaminants that they dredged and dumped on the street here. So when the water came in, that was all washed throughout all these houses. That's the sad thing.
It's a whole tree.
Sand 2 feet high all over. It's devastating. And, we had Hurricane Irene, and a lot of people left during that time chose to stay here because that wasn't as devastating. And it just goes to show you there's a plan in effect for people to evacuate. You have to heed the warning. You can't take anything for granted. You never know how serious it's going to be. A lot of the houses might have to be leveled to fix and correct all the gas lines. The boardwalk, which, was very nostalgic for years. People enjoyed that. That's pretty much all torn up. And whatever's left structurally, the foundation is bad. No telling the amount of damage yet. I don't think people realize, a lot of people don't realize the full effect of how much money this is going to run into.
My school was a shelter for 2 weeks almost, so I didn't have school for 2 weeks. One of my good friends had about 5 feet of water in her living area, so her place is completely wrecked and she had to go somewhere else to a family member's house. So they said that it could take either 6 months to a year, so she might not even be back in school for another year. I know a few people stayed, and I don't know how they stayed, honestly, because it was so bad, but they're alive and that's all that matters, really. Okay.
We're doing mass distribution of food products and stuff. These are our hot trucks, so we have meals, hot trucks, and people come and give them to go hot meals so that they can take them home and stuff. Canvass the neighborhoods, seeing if anybody needs anything. I'm a nurse, and I'm teamed with a mental health worker, so she's kind of counseling people, that kind of thing. So a little bit of this and a little bit of that, wherever we're needed, that's where we go. And I've been doing this since 1985.
We're here because God blessed us enough to where we're able to be, and financially we're okay to be able to give out free ice cream. And we just, we feel bad for all the people that lost everything and all the work they have to do to clean up. This is easy for us just to give out ice cream. They got to tear their houses apart and everything, and all that mold, and everything's wet and got ruined. And this is only the second day they're allowed back on their island. People live here every day, their lives, and have it just destroyed like that. So this is easy for us, and we just thought if we could get back and if we could make some kids smile that lost everything. Adults too. People are, they're just, their lives are turned upside down.
What we're doing here is people who, especially if it's their primary residence and it's where they have to live, tremendous amounts of water came into the ocean, boom, into their house, and it's creating mold. So we're having people sign up and we're sending teams in, and they'll cut the sheetrock off 18 inches above the water line and take the insulation out. They'll take power washers and get all the dirt out. Then they'll put a chemical on there to stop the mold because they can't have mold. And then after we've got that done, then their insurance company and contractors will come in and put all the sheetrock back in. Our main ministry is just get them back in their house so that they can live in the thing.
Coastal Christian is outreaching to the community. We're pairing up with the Tabernacle Church in Ocean City as well. And we're just helping out our community. As you can see, we're helping out this family here with their garages that was submerged with at least 4 foot of water. And we're just doing the best we can as far as just going up and down the Bay Avenue and Central Avenue, or Asbury Avenue rather, and just seeing if people need help.
Our town came to our church and said, what can you guys do? And we said, this is what we can do. We can provide food, and we can provide help with cleaning out homes. They call it mudding out. So we have 2 organizations. We brought the infrastructure to us. American Red Cross and the Southern Baptist Relief Effort. They're the experts. When we brought them in, we created the situation. We put up the signage, and now everybody's coming here to be helped. In my own church, I have people who have people living in their houses now who have been displaced from their own homes. In fact, a man that lives right across the street here in our church, he's an elderly gentleman, around 80 years old. We've turned our Sunday school rooms into bedrooms, and he's now sleeping in our building because his home's a disaster.
I'm an insurance adjuster, a public adjuster that people hire to help them negotiate fair settlements with their insurance companies. I've met with a lot of people, some very upset because they've lost everything and have no way to recover it, and then other people who are just frustrated because of the damage, but thankfully have insurance and are looking forward to recovering at least something. Generally speaking, you can't undo the storm, and they won't get 100% back where they were because flood insurance policies are very limited, but at least it's better than nothing.
This is fantastic, though. I mean, the way people are coming together all over is insane. And we came from Bradley Beach. They have 2 drop-off spots in Belmar that are completely full. Completely. They're not even taking any more donations right now. And they have people sitting on bleachers waiting to be assigned assignments on what to do because they have so many people that want to help. They're sending people to help people clean their houses. They're sending them to help shovel at the beach. And they're sitting on the bleachers just waiting for as long as it takes to be assigned a job.